Hello, traders, and welcome to today's live event. We are going to dedicate this entire live event to looking at our new trade signals. You can decide, are they good or are they garbage? I think you're going to be impressed with what you see. And have your symbols ready. Let me know the time frame that you'd like me to look at. I will go through each and every one of them. If there are some trade tips that I can give along the way, I'm going to. So, first and foremost, you should know that the new trade signals do incorporate 1OP. So I spent years developing 1OP. It was fantastic. It did have some divergences in there. And so those required interpretation, which made it a little bit more difficult to use. After a lot of deliberation and refining and testing, this is something that's been ongoing for about the last 5 years or so. I was able to rip it apart, reassemble it a number of different ways, and I found something that really works well. So I'm excited to introduce these new trade signals to you. And in the description area of today's live event, you're going to find a link to an article that I posted. And this is going to give you all of the specifics that you need to know to use these trade signals. So before I get started, I'd like to say this is not the Holy Grail. Okay. It doesn't exist. But I do feel that these trade signals are very accurate and very timely. I think they're going to become a cornerstone to your trading. It's going to become your primary objective. So as we take a look at the trade signals, I'll also say this: there are no excuses. Okay. If there's a bad signal, it is what it is. I think in general, you're going to find that even though the trade hasn't set up, if you had entered on that signal, you would have had almost instant cushion in the trade because it would have moved your way. And you can place a stop at your entry price and scratch the trade and not lose any money on it. After all, it's what we're trying to do when we're trading. Keep your losses small, let your winners run. And so I'll also talk about a few other things that are mentioned in the article. For instance, if we're trading, let's say, a longer time frame like D1, and we really have a nice trade that's working out for us, then we'll want to use a more sensitive time frame, a shorter time frame like H1 to exit the trade. So those are things to keep in mind. I'll try and bring them up from time to time during the course of the presentation, but in general, I just want to look at symbols and I want to show you how well we've done. So you guys have got a lot of symbols lined up for me already. So, and that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to be entering symbols. We're going to take a look at these trade signals. I'm going to start with SPY and QQQ. So give me a chance to just run through those very quickly, not cherry picking. Those are major indices that we use to get our market bearings. And then obviously we're zeroing in on the individual stocks. So this is the SPY. This is a 5-minute chart, and then we'll take a look at the daily chart. And you can see in any one of these instances, like right in here, if we took this buy signal, all right, you get long ES, you could put your stop at your entry price in here, and you can use that for a scratch, and you've got some nice little upside. I don't know, what is it, 5 points or so? As it gets close to VWAP, you're probably going to want to trail a stop up to it because that's going to be a natural resistance level. But could you have gotten in? Could you have had a little cushion? Could you have put your stop there? Yes. So, here's a signal that came at the end of the day, 5-minute chart. So the dotted line is the end of the day. Would I take a sell signal right there? No, it's too late in the day. I'm painting myself in the corner. Here's a nice little buy signal right in here. Okay, we've got a nice long green candle in here. Could you have bought here and made some money on the way up? Absolutely. Nice buy signal in here. You can see in all of these instances, and the one thing that I'm going to tell you as a trader, I don't like taking trade signals on long candles. I don't like trading long candles, okay? I feel like I'm FOMO Joe rushing into the trade. I don't need to do that. A long candle could completely reverse, it could be completely erased, or it could hold. So show me signs that it's going to hold. And I'm going to point out trades that might have worked out, but that I would not have taken. So in this instance, right in here, yes, we've got a nice little compression. We've got a breakout to a new high of the day right in here. Could you have taken a small starter position above VWAP and used VWAP as your stop out? Yes. But if this green buy signal had happened on this long candle right in here, would I have taken it? No, I wouldn't have taken it. I want to make sure that this long candle doesn't retrace. And so you can see as time elapses, now we get a lot of long candles with long tails and choppy trading in here. This puts me on guard. Okay. I don't want to be caught in this type of volatility. Same thing here. Got a nice little entry on a short here. We have a new low of the day. Market had not been able to get back above VWAP. It tried once, couldn't do it. Would I take this sell signal? Yeah, that's pretty nice sell signal right in there. So let's continue to go back. Again, I'm just going to look at SPY. Here's a good example. Would I take a buy signal on a long green candle like that? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd wait to see what the heck happens. And in this case, mistake avoided. Going to keep going back. Hey, here's a beautiful buy signal. Again, you're all going to have to decide if you think these trade signals are good or not. There's a new high of the day. There's no resistance anywhere close by. Yes, I would get long in here on that new high of the day, and you get some instant movement higher. Nice. I've got some cushion built into it. Now you get a test and you have a bounce above VWAP. Hmm, this move could actually gain traction. Draw a horizontal line at the high of the day. Yeah, I would probably add in here and you can continue to ride that trade. And continue to look back. Trade signal very late in the day. So this is in the last 15 minutes of trading. Would I take that? Probably not. I do have a nice little breakdown through a horizontal support level. So if it happened earlier in the day, yeah, that would be fine. I would take that. Here's a nice little buy signal in here. Would I take it? I haven't really gotten through a resistance level in here. So price action is a little bit choppy. I don't know that I would have taken it so close to VWAP. You could have, and you could have scratched the trade in here at any time. Would I have held overnight? Well, this is an M5 trade signal. So if I'm using intraday trade signals, no, I'm not going to hold overnight because this is overnight risk. Just going to go back now. There's a nice gap higher, got a new high a day. Would I buy right here? I really don't need to. The trading day just started. Oh, okay. We test VWAP in here. VWAP holds, the gap holds. Hey, that's a good sign. Now we make a new high of the day. This is where I would buy that trade signal. Could you have added later in the day? Sure, you could have added in here and had a little bit more upside to it. You can already see the nice, consistent price action. So as we start looking at these trade signals today, keep some of these things in mind. Yeah, heck yeah, that's a nice sell signal right in there. You've already seen really nice heavy selling. If you wanted to wait, you could wait for this breakdown right in here. Nice room. Nice buy signal in here. Sell signal late in the day. Wouldn't take it. Filling in the gap in here, okay? If you had bought that, you could have. You would have had cushion right away. You could have put your stop in at your entry price and scratched the trade on that retracement. But anytime you've got a monster, and I'm talking about a monster gap down, you should be very careful buying the high of the day. So some of this is a little bit intuitive. Would I take this sell signal here? No, not until I start taking out some support, the low of the day, at least show me something to tell me that this sell signal is going to be legitimate. Continue to go back. You can see nice sell signal here, nice sell signal there. So that's how this works. I'm going to put up a chart on a D1 basis. These are the trade signals. The trade signals span from daily to M5 time frame. And yes, I am going to be building a futures product that does have M1 time frames as well. But you can see these are all really nice trade signals. So let's take a look at QQQ very quickly. We'll just go right to the daily chart, see what that's been doing. You can see, again, let your winners run, keep your losers small. So you've got a nice entry point for a short here. You would pivot right in here. You are able to place a stop at your entry and scratch it here. You've got a sell signal. If you had entered there on that breakdown, you've got a little bit of cushion. Place your stop at your entry point. You've got a nice buy signal here. Let your winners run. Okay. Sell signal here, break down below the 100-day moving average on a long candle. You would have gotten a little bit stuck on that, but you can see the system is going to get you out fairly quickly. And whatever you lost here, you're going to make a whole lot more back here. And in fact, on this big run up here in QQQ, if you had a runner like this, then you would want to shift to a H1 exit signal if you were swing trading this. Okay. You just would. I mean, this is a nice big runner. Most traders are going to cut their trades short, they're going to exit too early. And if you use H1, you know that that time frame is more sensitive. It's going to get you out. So that top came in at around July 12th, let's say. And let's see if we have a corresponding sell signal. Yeah, we don't go back that far. We don't have enough data to go back and check it, but I can almost guarantee you that we would have had a sell signal somewhere near that high. So you would use your H1 time frame to get you out of the trade somewhere up in here. So that's how those signals look. We can go to an M5 basis and you can see what the trade signals look like here. Again, there's a buy signal yesterday on an M5 basis. Am I going to be buying when the stock has shown me weakness during the course of the day and when it is still trying to get through VWAP? I'm not going to. I don't think any decent trader would. You're going to wait to see if this is a head fake, just to attract buyers in here. And of course, quickly reverses. Nice little buy signal in here earlier today. And we're above VWAP the entire day. If you had gotten long in here, you had plenty of opportunity to trail that up and to stop yourself out. And we can kind of go back and take a look at some of the other trade signals. I'm not going to short a long red candle like this. I've already told you there's your sell signal. Yes, we've seen some heavy selling. I'm going to wait to see how well these long candles hold up. Oh, look at this. We get a big bounce and we fall short of VWAP. Okay, I'm having more confidence in this price action and in that sell signal. And now, before we even get to VWAP, I have a bearish engulfing candle. Would I short here? You betcha. I think I did, in fact. So, yeah, I would definitely short that. That's how we trade these signals. Again, here you got a poke through, a VWAP. Would I buy this trade signal here? No, but on a test here and a breakout through here above VWAP, yeah, I'd be on board for that right in there. That is how I would trade these. This is just super nice stuff in here. The market was making a big move. Look at that buy signal in there. Test, 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 VWAP holds. Now we're starting to lift off. Really nice. And you didn't really have to worry about an exit until all the way here if you decided to hold overnight. So that would be more a function of what your trade duration is than anything else. Really nice buy signal in here. So Those are some things to keep in mind. I am going to take this chart off in the background and I'm going to maximize this screen because now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at what you guys have provided me with. I know JPM is one of the stocks that was asked if that was a decent buy setup right here. That looks pretty good. This is a nice buy signal right in here. Would I buy the high of the day? No, I wouldn't. Not on a long key bar like that. I'd want to see what happens. Now I get a breakout to a new high of the day. Yes, I would respect that trade signal, and I think this would be a decent entry point for you. So that's JPM on N5 basis. You can see nice buy signal in here. You've got a sell signal right in here, but no technical breakdown. I would like to see a new low of the day before I take that short signal right in there. Okay, so I don't really have a need to take that short signal. So what do? If this were attractive, that is also a gap higher. So there's your low of the day. You draw an alert line right like that. If you thought this was an attractive short, when the stock drops, you're going to get that alert. That's what I would do with that information if I brought up JP Morgan Chase on that day. So let me take a look at some of your symbols and let's go through and take a look. Again, please make sure that when you post your symbol, post the time frame so that I know exactly what to zero in on. So I've got Apple and Amazon and Netflix on an M5 basis. No excuses. First thing I'll tell you, these are some thick stocks with very heavy volume. So they are going to be choppy. As we look at this, keep in mind, if I took the trade signal blindly, no technical analysis whatsoever, could I have put my stop in at my entry price? Did I have a little bit of cushion early on in the trade? If so, I can always stop myself out for a scratch and leave myself room for a runner. That's what I'm trying to do when I'm trading. So let's take a look at the signals, okay? No cherry picking here. Let's see what we got going. So this sell signal right in here, you got a little bit of room right away on it. Could you scratch? You could. I mean, the stock is trapped in a compression, which is another thing that I suggest that you do not trade compressions, okay? Stock is back and forth. Equilibrium. Buyers and sellers are paired off. There is no reason to trade when you are in a compression. Set an alert at the high end of the compression, set an alert at the low end of the compression. When you get that breakout that coincides with a signal that's already been generated, then you got to trade. Okay. So you got a sell signal here. Did you have some cushion? Yes. Got a sell signal here. Eh, on a long bar? No, you didn't have any cushion and you were right on the low of the day. Wouldn't have taken it, but no, you didn't have a lot of cushion in there. So you would have had a chance to scratch it though if you would have taken that sell signal. You had room here on the buy signal. You had room here on that buy signal, and lo and behold, you catch a nice runner. Here on this sell signal, it's on the low of the day following this long red candle. Nope. You would have taken a loss there. That would have been a pretty foolish trade to take, especially with that support that you had from a couple of days ago. You got a little cushion in here, but you're pretty close to the end of the day. And let's go back though, and let's take a look at Apple on a longer term basis using that 5 minute chart. And I'm just going to scroll back to see if there were some opportunities to catch some nice moves. That is a nice move off of VWAP. Would I have bought it right there? No. We're on a trend line like that. Okay, I can feel pretty good about getting long in here. I could have also just drawn a horizontal alert line here. So you get your alert here. Oh, this is a nice buy, but the stock is trapped in a compression. Click, click, click. Set that alert line. This is where you get in. You got a really nice trade higher. Would I take this sell signal right in here? It's a long red candle. No, personally, I would not have. He did have some cushion in it. Turns out to be a nice trade. If it were just a tiny little candle in here, yeah, there's a horizontal support level and you're below VWAP, then I would have taken it. I just don't like trading these long candles. So bear that in mind. And let's go back and see what else we've got in here. So that's Apple. That's what Apple looks like. We can take a look at Apple D1 very quickly, and I'll go on to the next symbol. Short, nice buy. Amazon was the next one. And now that I've kind of flavored everything for you, as I bring up charts, I'm not going to have to go through and describe what I've just been describing to you. So I should be able to do a lot more flipping. And you can see how Amazon's been in a nice kind of a grind higher. And in most of these instances, if you short here, you exit here, you would have lost money on that. I'm not going to paint a rosy picture there. You would have lost money right in there as well. And then you've got earnings coming up. So I definitely would not have caught that. I would have exited. So to me, Amazon is really not showing me anything compelling right now that would make me want to trade. But if I had a buy signal here and the stock starts to grind up, we've got an earnings announcement there. Now I get a breakout above that high from the earnings announcement, yeah, I would definitely buy in here knowing that I've got this trade signal. And that's one of the advantages to the new trade signals is that we can combine them with every other search variable that we have. All these variables, relative strength, heavy volume, trend line breakouts, HA continuations, breakouts above major moving averages, we can search for all of that. And that's how we're going to be using them. So yes, Amazon does have some pretty nice D1 trade signals. And on an M5 basis, what do I see? Well, I've got a gap down here today. I've got a sell signal on it. I've got the stock trying to get through this VWAP level. I have relative strength. If the stock is able to take out this low of the day, yes, I would take that short. And let me put another trend line here. This is an upward sloping trend line. I am just going to make a horizontal trend line that will show me a new low of the day. That's how I would use this information. Netflix. Let's take a look at Netflix. Gorgeous stuff here. Yeah, I would trade that. I would have bought that early in the day. You have a breakout above the prior day's high. You have a breakout from 2-day high. So yeah, in here, this is really nice. Okay, we are well above VWAP. Yeah, that would have been a great entry point. The decent sell signal in here, but you've got to have some technical confirmation that this sell signal is going to be legitimate. What I like to do is, again, I don't like to trade stocks late in the day. So if I get a sell signal, and we're bound to find a bunch of these that come late in the day, I'll drop an alert line at the low of the day. And that way, the next day, if the stock breaches that prior day's low and we're still on that sell signal and I see any decent volume, that is going to be an excellent short. URBN was one that Dave Wise pointed out today. And that was an excellent example. And I had actually liked this from the short signal yesterday. I set a signal. I was looking for heavy volume M15. I was looking for a bearish trade signal. And when I saw this steady drift lower, I just shorted the stock. I'm still short the stock. But you can see here when you get a trade below the prior day's low and some decent volume, and you're still on that sell signal, then that's going to pose a nice trade. So right here, we did have an exit yesterday on URBN. So just to finish up Netflix, let's take a look at that daily chart, and then I'm going to continue to pound through some of these and take a look at what's happening on a D1 basis. And there you can see some of the trade signals uh, on Netflix longer term. Nice, 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 nice. Let's see what we got here. Qualcomm. Qualcomm to me is one of the choppiest dang stocks you can ever trade. And so expectations are fairly low. Nice buy signal. Do you need to buy it here? Well, why would I do that when I got all these major moving averages in here? You start getting a breakout above the 100-day and 200-day moving average. We can set these. We can search for these. Hey, show me a stock that's on a D1 buy signal that is above the 200-day or the 100-day or the 50-day moving average. We have these searches. In fact, the way that those work is that if the stock was below that major moving average yesterday and today it is above that major moving average, I want to see it. Oh, and it happens to be on a buy signal. Oh, and it happens to have heavy volume today. So when I search for those and I have those lining up, bing, 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 I am long right here. Okay, so uh, above on a buy signal and above a VWAP E. Yes, we have that. So you would be able to find this stock right in here. And yes, you have a nice technical breakout. So Qualcomm, let's see, was that, well, there wasn't a time frame specified. So I'm just going to look at the D1 chart. And I'm gonna have to cut this short because I'm already half an hour in. So now I'm just gonna be looking at time frame and symbol, time frame and symbol. So Micron, really nice stuff there, good stuff there, good stuff there, really nice short here. Full disclosure, I am short Micron myself right now. You know that from the last video that I produced on Sunday. That was my pick of the week. And you can see how the stock has formed nicely on the downside. Tesla, everyone likes to trade Tesla. Gorgeous sell signal there. Gorgeous sell signal there. Nice buy signal in there. Let's take a look at the D1 because that's what we were focusing on. And there's a really nice buy signal in there. Short here. Okay. What do you do with that? Well, short there, you're going to have a little bit of cushion, but you're going to stop out of that trade very quickly. Kind of the same thing here. You got a nice little entry for a short, but if you put your stop at your entry price, you're going to get stopped out there. Yes, it does continue to go lower, but you've got earnings announcement there. So you can see good sell signal, good buy signal. If you're a swing trader, I think you're going to really like these signals. You can see got a nice buy signal on Tesla right there. So let's see what else we got here. I'm just going down the list. I'm trying to read all your comments in here. Filtering for new D1, for example, they all have trade signals from a couple of days ago. How is it best used? I think I've answered that question for you. Doesn't matter if it was a month ago or 6 months ago. If it's still on a buy signal, then you're looking for a technical breakout. Got that technical breakout, you're still on a buy signal. The fact that it's been on a signal for a long time tells me that the stock is not choppy, 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 choppy in a trading range. It's probably got some pretty decent upward momentum. Okay, JPM we went through. AMI, would I have taken that buy signal early today? So I'm going to assume that we are talking about a day trading scenario. Nice buy signal in there, by the way, but choppy. Look at what this stock does. Up, down, stair step fashion. We can expect that along the way. So let's take a look at the 5 minute chart. It's probably going to be pretty choppy as well. Would I have taken this buy signal today on the high of the day? We are through the prior day's high. I would want to see continuation in here. And what happened? Mm, no, the stock was actually relatively weak. So I would not have taken that. Let's put the crosshairs up, take a look at that. You can see there's your buy signal, but the stock is weak relative to the market. I would need to see that stock be relatively strong and make a new high of the day. Plus, when we take a look at stocks like this, what's the character of the stock recently? It in this particular case, we've got a stock that's very choppy. It makes a move up, pulls back. This is pretty decent price action right in here. Very strong, and you can see how consistent the stock's been. Nice bounce off of VWAP, new high of the day. Would I get long in here? I could get long this stock in here because it's had decent volume the entire day, and I could ride that a bit higher in here. So that would not be a bad trade entry here. You're in a compression. I mean, there's nothing there for us. Would I take that sell signal? Heck no. If I get this sell signal and I start seeing another red bar and another red bar and another red bar and another red bar, and it starts leaking lower, yes, then I could start considering this as a decent trade. But at minimum, I'd like to take out the prior day's close. Give me something, anything that I can hang on to. My additional commentary is also helping you. Guys, don't give me a time frame. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be looking for here. Okay, RCL, that's the gorgeous stuff. I guess I'll just default to a 5 minute time frame. If you give me a symbol and no time frame, then I'm just going to go with a M5 time frame. Okay, so long green candle. Would I buy that long green candle? We do have a breakout above the prior day's high. No, I would not. At some point, we're going to retrace. In this case, we retrace to VWAP and that support holds. So now I've got a long red candle here, got a little bit of a downward sloping M5 trend line here. Yeah, I would get long in here pretty comfortably. And then you've got the stock breaking out to a new high of the day. Could have gotten long right in here. But yes, this is pretty decent confirmation that the stock has a nice head of steam. It is strong relative to the market. This is another nice feature for the new version is we've had so many display enhancements. I think you're really going to enjoy using it. But in this case, it's very easy to see that, yes, it's green. So that means that we have relative strength. Uh-oh, you get a pullback here. Well, if you enter in here, you're going to be leaning on VWAP. So you want to make sure that it holds. Oh, it tested VWAP here, but it held. Okay. Now we're starting to move higher again. So no harm, no foul. We're still in on that decent trade. You get here's a great example. Man, is this a good example of exactly the type of pattern that I like to trade on an intraday basis. Trade signal late yesterday. Okay. We don't know what's going to happen overnight. So if I'm day trading, heck no, I'm not going to take a trade signal from uh, the last 15 minutes of trading. I'm painted into a corner. I don't want to do that. But what I would do is if I take a look at this trade signal here, perhaps this is even end of day analysis that I'm conducting, and I'm looking for stocks that are on an M5 buy signal along with other technicals. Am I interested here? No. Okay, well, what does get me interested? Breakout of this level here. Yeah, if I see that buy signal, hey, if it can break out above that, would I be interested? Sure, I would. Click, click, alert line. I'm in right here. RCL, nice. Flip to the D1 very quickly. Grind, 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 grind. So not a lot going on a D1 basis. A decent buy signal in here, but you can see the type of price action that this stock has. gorgeous sell, gorgeous buy, which leads me to another point. If you have a buy signal across multiple time frames, daily basis, 1 hour basis, 30-minute basis, 15-minute basis, 5-minute basis, every one of those signals strengthens that M5 trade signal. So if you have agreement across multiple time frames, it's going to be a dang strong signal. And Q, we already looked at that. Kava, Kava, woo. Yeah, that came up on a bunch of searches yesterday. That was on Green Royal Flush. And you had this nice buy signal right in there. You had a breakout to a new high, and that is earnings after the close. Good short. Look at that buy signal in there. Do I buy that buy signal? No, I don't buy that buy signal. I'm waiting for any kind of technical breakout. And in this particular case, there's well, this stock is recently listed. That's why it doesn't have all the longer term moving averages. But what if I had automated trend lines that I could add, which I've got up here? So then you're going to find other possibilities on longer term breakouts and breakdowns. And let me put up 10TL past. What 10TL past would allow me to do is to see very long-term trend lines that came into play. So we don't really have any right now because this is a relatively new stock. But yeah, it's a good buy signal in there. Now you get a rally above AVWAP-Q or the 50-day moving average. Yeah, this is a nice entry point right in here. You got earnings coming up. Okay, get out. You don't want to hold over earnings, but in this case, those earnings reactions were good. Let's take a quick look at M5, see what it's got. Gap up. Do I need to buy the high of the day? I'm not going to buy the high of the day after a gap up like that. I've got a pullback. What happened on the pullback? Well, we stayed above VWAP. Okay. Downward sloping M5 trend line right in here. New high of the day in here. Yeah, I could buy right in here. Long red candle. Okay, let's take some gains. I could wait for that exit signal as well. Would have had a nice trade on there. So Kava, good. PDD, PDD. Higher day stall signal below, below prior day low. Earnings announcement. Would I trade this? If I start to see relative weakness, which I had, and a steady move lower, yes, I can short this. I think Dave Wise shorted this yesterday in the chat room. Would I short this? Yeah, it hasn't been able to get above VWAP. I'd like to see it below this prior day low, which is very close right in here. So until it can crack that level, eh, poke, 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 crack it. Yeah, then I would consider that a good entry point for a short position on a day trading basis. Meta. Guys are hitting me up with all the big names. I should expect that. And that's good. These are very liquid stocks with good options. In here, VWAP rejection, trying to fill in this gap, weak relative to the market. Yep, a little bit of volume in there. Yeah, you can take that short right in there. What do we got today that looks decent? Well, there's your range from yesterday. There's the high, there's the low. So we're trapped inside that range, which automatically puts me in defensive mode. I can probably find a better stock. This is a point worth repeating. Trapped inside the prior day's range. If a stock can't get through the prior day's high or the prior day's low, it's already on my no-go list. What the hell do I want to trade that thing for? I can find 100 stocks that are through the prior day's high or through the prior day's low. Those are minor resistance levels, support levels. Those are the first roadblocks in the way. I need stocks that are able to get through those levels. I do not want to be trading something that is inside the prior day's range. Okay, those are really pretty basic trading lessons that you should incorporate into your trading style. If you'd have gotten long here, you had relative strength, you had plenty of cushion, and you could have stopped out the trade, or you could have, for a scratch, or you could have taken small gains on it. So, Meta, yeah, D1 basis, choppy, choppy, choppy. Good buy signal there, but in here, sell signal, not really. I mean, there hasn't been anything exciting about Meta. I mean, just visually look, draw a line across all the tops, draw a line across all the bottoms, and then just wiggle in between that compressed trading range. There's nothing there for me for Meta. No way. Wouldn't be trading it on a day on a D1 basis. QQQ, we already looked at. If you missed it, I'm sorry. You can go back and you can review it. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'll just keep knocking through them. At some point, we're going to have to stop putting new symbols up. Let's see here. SMCI. I'm going to look down and see if you guys are putting time frames in here. You're driving me nuts. You're not giving me any time frames. Okay, there we go. D1, D1, D1. If you are going to post a symbol, please post a time frame so that I don't have to spend time looking at 3 or 4 different time frames. Otherwise, this is going to be a 12-hour video live event. I'm going to lose my voice. Okay, so anyway, Amazon has breached below an M5 trend line. Let's just take a quick look at it. And you can see it's right on that 200-day moving average. And that is the M5 trend line that I drew like that. Okay, so it's on a sell signal. Could I try a little short here on that breakdown below VWAP? Yes, I could, but I'd want to see it make quick progress to the low of the day. And if it blows through it, not peck, 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 blows through it, then I can add. But if it just drift, drift, drift lower like choppy stock tends to do, I'd be wanting to take gains down near the low of the day. And you would probably use the open of that red bar, which is above VWAP, as your stop. And you can click end of day, click, click. Look how easy it was to set an alert there. If I'm short this stock, boom, I got my alert set. Hey, if it wipes out this red candle and gets above VWAP, I'm out. Okay, so let's see here. We've got, oh, BLL, that's a nice one. I was on SMCI. Sorry, I got distracted by that Amazon trade signal. Okay, so SMCI, gorgeous sell signaling here. Break down below the prior day's low. Yeah, I would short that. I have no problem shorting that. Very nice. Today, big gap down. Would I respect that sell signal here? No, it's the opening of the day, and we've got these long mixed candles. I don't have any real reason to short this, but take a look at the D1 chart. Ooh, nasty little breakdown below AVWAP E. Okay, yeah, this could be a nice short if it can gain some traction here. Right now on a D1 sell signal. What do I do with this information? Well, visually, I can do a few things. One is I can turn on relative weak, relative strong alerts. And so if the stock has real relative weakness on an M5 basis, please let me know. So if that goes negative, I'm gonna know. I'll probably get the alert very soon, but I'd like to see it crack below this, and I'd like to see it chunk away at VWAP. So that candle coincides pretty quick closely to VWAP. So end of day, whoops. But that's how I would do it. I just pick that candle right there and I would double click on it and I would have my alert line set. Now, if it can break through that, I don't even have to look at SMCI again. If it breaks through that, yeah, I'd be interested in it. NSC, NSC. This is a nice breakup, but it is not on a buy signal right now. It is telling you to stay neutral. So let's take a look at a 15-minute basis and see what we got going on in this fairly choppy stock. This is a nice breakout with or without signal. I think that's a good stock to trade. D1 basis. Take a look at that. Above AVWAP E. Yeah, I like this. Definitely a good one. So system missed a signal there because this is showing you an exit, and that tells me that at this point in time that the M15 was on a sell signal right there. So it's not going to give you an M5 buy signal until it agrees with M15, and that's why you're not seeing a buy signal there. But if you were short here, it got you out of the trade before the losses got nasty. But prior to this, the stock has been in a longer term compression. And so what you're getting is back and forth, and buy signal, sell signal, buy signal, sell signal until it finally breaks out, and then it has a chance to gain some traction. So that's what's going on there. BLL, boy, I like that one this morning. It came up on some searches. BILL, excuse me. Starting to break out. I wouldn't take this on the long side until it gets through that 100-day moving average. I mean, look at that. That is a lid that is kept on that stock. Always important to look at the longer term time frames. Okay. In this case, yes, you could have gotten long that right in there. You've got a breakout above the prior day's high, checks the VWAP. I mean, you can try getting long in here. I don't have a problem with that because you've got plenty of room to the 100-day moving average. But now that you're very, very close to it, I would not be entering a long position here. I would be looking to take gains, and you can see the high of the day, 53.85 is the 100-day, 53.74 is pretty close to the high of the day. It's the 100 days keeping a lid on it. You've got to be aware of what in the heck is going on a longer term basis. So PDD we looked at, SFM. I'm not cherry picking, folks. Okay. All I'm doing is looking at your stocks. You have to look at these trade signals and decide if you could have made some money on that trade signal right there. So PDD, I like it. So you got your prior day's high, got your buy signal right in here, stays above VWAP. Yes, there's a decent little entry point for you right in here. You know, you get in here, you use VWAP as your stop out point, set an alert for VWAP, right click, create alert, M5, VWAP, below. Done. Don't need to do anything else. I stay in the trade as long as the stock stays above VWAP. I don't have to do another thing. It's above my entry price is below VWAP. So even if I stop out there, I've got a profit in the trade. Otherwise, I just kind of let it grind higher. The stock looks pretty darn good. You've got decent relative strength in here. It has dipped a little bit, so we want to see this green resume. And then we'll be in decent shape. We'll continue to float higher. Again, always checking the D1 chart. Oh, yeah, that looks really good. Nice pick, by the way. NKE, where are we at time-wise here? Ah, we still got 10 minutes. Good. And I'll run it a little bit longer too. NKE, okay, so you got a sell signal in here. Stock is compressing. You got a breakout on a long candle. You want to make sure that this stock is able to hold that long green candle, which it does, but then it gaps right up. Would I buy it in here? I don't know. It's Nike. It's a stock that doesn't move very fast, and now we're up on the 100-day moving average from here to here. Probably wouldn't swing trade it long, but I might have some day trading opportunities in there on a 5-minute basis. And so you can see kind of how the buy and sell signals set up on a 5-minute basis in here. WBA, it has been just an incredible short. Well, yeah, there's a nice short in there. You're below the prior day's low. So yes, nice steady price action, relative weakness. Big volume. Ding, 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 ding. Wouldn't it be nice if we could search for that? Wow, would that be a nice search? We would have trade signal, bearish. We would have decent option liquidity, and we would have good volume today. R vol, I don't know, let's go 130. 100, that'd be 130% or 30% above the normal average daily volume. I can almost bet you that every single one of these stocks looks pretty dang good. Oh, how about below the prior day's low? Hey, now we're talking, and look what we got on there. WBA. Did you see how easy that was? BKTX, TLRY. I see too big a gap. I would trade that. CRM at HIMS. Somebody I think asked me about HIMS earlier, so you can see I need that below the prior day's low. There's your long candle on the open. Let's see what happens. Can't fill the gap. Resistance, 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 resistance. Now we break VWAP. Yeah, I would short right in there. How I would trade it. CRM, no time frame. What do I see on a daily chart? Well, I got this long candle that's kind of standing in the way. I'd want to see the stock below that to short it. So wouldn't be overly excited about shorting it. There's a relative new low right here taking out this. No, I can't say that I would be shorting that. So anyway, let's get back to the other symbols that you posted. But yes, this is how we conduct searches, and we can use all of these dang variables to find stocks. All right. All right. I gotta show you another thing here. All right. So let's just change it up. So here's a search variable that we can use. SMA cross. I've incorporated the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving average into this search variable. So yesterday, all of these stocks will have been above the 50-day or above the 100-day or above the 200-day. And today, it is below the 50-day or the 100-day or the 200-day. So we've got a breach of a major support level. Okay. And if I click it to bearish, I got to click it twice. Now it's a bearish variable. Okay. Stock was above the major moving average yesterday. Today it is below the major moving average. All right, well, let's go and take a look at what we've got on our bearish trade signals. Ooh, I wonder what these stocks look like. What was above the 100-day moving average? Today it's below the 100-day moving average. Could it gain some traction? Yes. Do I need to be mindful of the 200-day moving average? Yes. Sell signal yesterday, below the prior day's low. I highlighted this stock about 15 minutes into the open today in the chat room. Um, mm, High of 11.90 down to $11.10. Could you have made some money on that? Yeah. Did you see how easy it was? Uh, I'm trying to make this as easy for all of you as I possibly can. I really am. I wish there was some altruistic reason for it. It makes it easier for me. I'm a trader too, okay? So when I make really good tools, it's not only just good for me, it's good for you too. So, yeah, it's a nice search that you can run. There's so many. WDA. So, buy signal there, exit there, but you can see that it holds the VWAP. Would I necessarily get out on that? Nah, not really. I love the fact that the stock has been able to stay above the prior day's high, and it generally has had relative strength the entire day with some pockets of heavier volume in here. So WDAY looks really good to me today. And there's your earnings after the close. There's your big breakout above the 100-day moving average. This is a really nice stock pick, okay? First swing trade as well. Holds the gap and now it's making a new relative high. So shout out for that nice pick. Well done. Does anyone know how or where the buy signals are coming from? Yes, I know where they're coming from, but I'm not going to tell you. Spent 12 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. So, no, I'm not going to share my logic behind it, but I am sharing my buy and sell signals with you. Wolf M15, thank you so much for posting that time frame. Let's take a look at Wolf and see what it's doing on an M15 basis. Really nice sell signal there. Break down below support. Yes, below all the major moving averages. Fantastic. M15. What do we got on an M15 basis? We've got a sell signal from way back in here, long candle on the low of the day. Let's wait and see what the stock does. Whoop! Ah, good thing we didn't take that short when that signal came out. Good thing we waited. Right now, would I take this short in here? Um, Probably want it below this support level right here, then I would consider it. But the stock does look pretty dang weak. So what we do is we click GTC and we click on that right there and take a look at the daily chart just to make sure. Yep, everything there is good. We could draw an alert line like this as well that gives us a little diagonal bias to it, but this might already be through that price point, so that might not work. PDD, again, we looked at that, ELAN. If you're asking me for a symbol that we've already covered, please go back and watch the video, look at the chat transcript, and you'll know where you should be looking for it within the timeline. ELAN, what a nice breakout above that 100-day moving average. Already on a buy signal. Wait a minute. Been through this before. Let me bring up the prior search that I ran. I might have deleted it. We're going to go trade signal D1 bullish. We are going to go bullish SMA cross. We're going to go, I don't know if ELAN has good option liquidity. And we're going to go greater than prior day's high. These are your candidates. There is ELAN. And that is a nice trade signal. You know, when you're trading, it's really about efficiency. How quickly can you find these stock trades? It's very easy. I mean, I found that, I don't know, what did it take me? 10 seconds, 15 seconds to find that stock? Break out to a new high of the day, gap up, buy signal, long candle, break out to a new high of the day. Would I chase this? I don't feel like I'm chasing it because it's already had a chance to test these two long candles and we're through the prior day high and we're getting through the 100-day moving average. Yeah, I would buy that here. Let's see here. W. Oh man, for whatever reason, Tradier is asking me to relog into the trading platform. So I may have to conclude this. I mean, we are right at the 1 hour mark. So let me go through and take a look at some questions. And I don't know why it's prompting me to restart uh, Stalker Pro. There must have been some connection error. W, that's a really nice short. Again, I don't know what the time frame is that you're looking at, so I'm just going to continue to go through on an M5 basis. Apple, we already looked at. Okay, sorry you missed it. AMD, no, 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 no. We have no reason to trade AMD. This thing is caught in a compression here. So you can set your alert line, GTC, if it takes out that low right there, then maybe you got something to consider. It's how done. You looked at it, nothing there, move on. MBLY, nice short right in there. Set your alert line. You know, now you're watching it. Well, let's see. There might have been a trade in MBLY. There was a trade in MBLY. So you can see how stock is below the prior day's low. It's trending lower. All right, you're on the low of the day. Could you short here? Yeah, you could take a short position in here. See what the stock does. Give it a little bit of time. The next day, you've already got a position in it. Now you've got a breakdown below the prior day's low. Yeah, you might add on it, but not on that long candle there. You'd probably want to wait to see how that's resolved. Oh, you get above the open. Okay, there's nothing there for me. So now you're a little bit more defensive on it. Not that you got to bail out of the position, but you're not looking to add to it. It's set an alert here. Okay, now we're below it again. So there are some opportunities, but right now the stock seems stuck in here. It just seems to be losing some of that selling pressure. So I wouldn't be adding to it, but yeah, there is a decent entry in there. And in general, you can see that this is a pretty tight compression in here. Stock has had nice momentum in here, and now it's just consolidating. So I would set a low on today's low. I mean, set an alert on today's low. And if it can get through that, you might have an opportunity to add to the position. mRNA, right short, below the prior day's low, comes in, long green or long red candle, no reason to short right here. Can't hold VWAP. Too many sellers. Yes, You could start shorting it in here. You could start shorting it in here. You could add to the position right here. How I would trade it. All right, we're getting close to the end, so please don't post any new symbols. I'm going to go through what you've got up here, and let's see if we can knock through all this MMM on a D1 basis. We're going to be covering this stock tomorrow because Harry picked this in our weekly live event last Wednesday, and it has been a really nice grinder. So, how was this long green candle resolved? Well, we need to make sure that this long green candle is preserved. We don't need to buy right here. Okay. We want half of it preserved. We had a beautiful breakout above this compression and above horizontal resistance. Half of it did hold. All right, we've let about 5 to 10 days post earnings pass us by. Now we start taking a look at it. Hey, it cleared a VWAT E. Yeah, I would like to buy some right in here because all of the sellers that wanted to take profits after this long compression and they're sitting on this stock forever with no movement, they're like, get me out of this thing. If it pops after earnings, I'm going to get out. So those sellers are out of the way. And the buyers who see this as an attractive entry point are nibbling, nibbling, nibbling until they eat away at all that supply. And now the stock has a nice path higher. MELI, beautiful buy signal in here above this horizontal resistance level, above AVWAP E. Yeah, I would like it right in here. Looks really good. Qualifier M30. Okay, thank you for posting that time frame. M30 basis. So you get your big breakout right in here. And that long green candle holds. Reluctant to chase stocks like this. So I got to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't trade at this, even though it was a good buy signal. Now you start getting through this horizontal resistance right in here. And we've been able to hold VWAP. Yeah, and here I would be more interested in it. ELF. Good little short M5 here below the prior day's low. Whoops, missed that. Sorry, M5 is that way. Breakdown. Not much going on in the stock. Set your alert here. Yes, we've got a breakdown below the prior day's low on a previous sell signal. This is where you can short. Can't get above VWAP. Looks good. AMD we looked at. What time frame did you test these signals on? Every time frame. Every single time frame. Looked at them all. When you have logic that works really, really well, much like technical analysis, it tends to be good across multiple time frames. So the same types of technical patterns that we look for on a 5-minute chart, we also look for on a daily chart. So the only thing that's different from day traders and longer term swing traders is their trade duration. But the same type of technical analysis and the same types of price patterns that we look for are consistent across multiple time frames. IBM, okay, very nice. M5 and D1 getting above the prior day's high. Looks okay in here. It's got relative strength. That's good. It has nice volume. All nice reasons to be long IBM on an M5 basis. If the D1 looks good, all systems go, which that looks really nice through this horizontal resistance level as well. And earnings gap up tests that earnings level support held up well during a big market decline. It is a little bit weak relative to the S&P 500 on a D1 basis, so I'd be a little cautious, okay? Right in here. So it is a tech stock though, and QQQ has been pounded recently, so even in a weak sector, the stock has been able to move higher. I like IBM. I think it's probably going to be a good performer. Abbott was one of the stocks that I highlighted last Sunday in my video, and I liked it as a long. So I think that it has been doing quite well in here. The last 2 days, it's been able to inch its way higher. Not a fast moving stock through this horizontal resistance. Still looks good. Take a look at the 5 minute. Not doing a whole lot of anything today. In fact, the market's not doing a whole lot of anything. So everything that I've shown you right now, you should also keep in mind that in the course of the last week or so, the market really hasn't done a whole lot of anything. It's been sideways. And so if you have any kind of market momentum along with these trade signals, you're going to have a real winning combination. There's your compression right there. So everything that we've been looking at M5, realize that this is what's going on with the overall market. How much do I factor in NVIDIA on SMCI? And now we're starting to get kind of into little fundamental analysis. I mean, we're aware that NVIDIA is going to be releasing earnings, compress, 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 could go up, could go down. We don't know which way. So, yes, if I'm considering trades on any of the chip makers, then in the back of my mind, I've got to be aware that NVIDIA is going to drive those stocks after the close tomorrow. So, it's a tangent play. If I've got positions in those other stocks, then I need to make a decision whether I'm willing to shoulder that risk, shoulder that news, or whether I want to exit my positions, evaluate the reaction on NVIDIA, and then re enter the trade. Given that the market's caught in a compression right now and the market's not giving me a trend that I can really lean into, I would be more inclined to exit those positions and then to wait and see how NVIDIA plays out and then to re enter them. TRPD1, and I'm almost done here. Nice buy signal, no reason to get in. However, I start running some searches and I find that TRP was below AVWAP-E, was below the 100-day moving average, and now it's above those moving averages. That is a breakout through this technical resistance. Yes, right in here. I would like it. Here, you got a buy signal in here below AVWAP-E, now above AVWAP-E, and still on that buy signal. We would have a chance to find it in our searches using that variable. Yes, I would like it. That would be your entry point on it. AVGO, only a couple more to go here. So, everyone, thanks so much for attending. Really appreciate it. I'm excited about these trade signals. I know we're going to be able to really leverage them and use them with a lot of the other variables and use them with some of the technical analysis that I've shown you to dramatically increase our odds of success. So you've got AVWAP E right here. Stock is able to get through it on a buy signal. Would I buy it right in here? Yeah, I probably would. I mean, now we've poked back below AVWAP E. So if I was leaning on AVWAP E, and if I wanted to see AVWAP E hold, then when I close below it and I close below the 50-day moving average right here, I'd be out. Okay. That trade signal did not work out on a D1 basis. No harm, no foul. I will wait for another day. Amazon is above an M5 alert now, and that is above a VWAP. So I'm not sure when I set that, but in any event, it's triggered. Um, I think that kind of handles all the signals, all of your requests. If you haven't tried Option Stalker Pro, I'd encourage you come in and give it a try. This is incredible trading software. If you take a look at all of our searches, and I'm going to go into Green Royal Flush, you can see that I've got my trade columns configured so that I can see what the trade signal is doing across multiple time frames. For this particular search, it's going to be bullish across all these time frames, and you can see that right in the chart, right in the table. You can see it for all the watch lists. This will help you to quickly identify opportunities because you know, based on the search criteria that I've used for our canned searches, these stocks have the characteristics that we want. So we already know that. Now we have a visual component so that if we start putting in trade signals, real relative volume, relative strength, all of those variables we can put into these columns. And now visually, at a glance, I can tell you, yup, 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 yup. These are the stocks I'm going to want to focus on. So it makes things very easy to use, very quick when I'm looking for day trading opportunities. And of course, we have the same thing on the flip side, all of the Vera searches as well. So it's very easy to find all these trades. Please come in, take the free trial. Haven't even talked about using the trade signals in conjunction with our trend lines, but the trend lines are also incredible. I'm going to click past so you can see where the past trend lines came into play. And we'll click on, I don't know, maybe IBM to see what that did. And take a look at where some